welcome back after a long time again.
Sorry.
This is episode 4 of the roof rack, where we are actually building it and painting it.
Yes.
Yay, got it right.
We literally just said this before we started. Anyway, it's all good. In this episode we build the actual roof rack, weld it and all that kind of stuff, and then once it's all kind of done, get it painted and then mount it onto the roof.
Trickier than it sounds.
Yeah, no, it actually wasn't too bad. It's just that it rained a lot, so I couldn't do any filming, which was a real pain because it's all outside. And it was the only day I had help, so I had to just bite the bullet, get wet, not film the actual mounting of it. But yeah, take a look, see what you think. It works well for us.
Looks very decent.
Yeah.
Looks like a professional's job.
Oh, thanks.
If I may say so. Well done.
High five me.
Oh.
Okay, sorry.
Well, we'll show you now.
All right, let's get on with it.
I'm really good at changing my mind, so what I've done is change my mind. I'm changing the roof rack style, and rather than explain it, I'm just going to do some bits and then show you. So I have done this, and it doesn't look like much, but essentially I've just bent the corner, and then I'm going to do another one across here, but this will be a cross brace, and then this is how the roof rails run down the side of the van, and then around the corner, and then across the front. At the front, underneath this, I'm going to put my light bar, and I'm going to do this same thing at the back of the van, but just a slightly smaller angle, just a nice little cut across. Should look pretty cool. Going with the angles thing. Roof bars. So this is how they're going to go. Like this. This bit sticks out to the front. This bit here sticks out to the front and then runs flat across the front to take my light bar. This bit raises up and runs down the length of the van. Where that's going to come in useful is for fitting the awning to it. So I'm going to put little kind of chocky bits in between, and then obviously what I can do then is bolt the awning straight onto the side of the van, rather than it going onto the roof or anything like that. So it's taken a while, but so far so good. The welds are looking decent, even though I'm a bit rubbish at it. I mean, I'll just take you through a couple of these. So it's not so bad. I've had to clean this one up a little bit, but it's not too bad either. That will need a lot of cleaning up. A bit of an exercise in trying to combine neatness with strength. I'm concentrating on the strength, and if I can keep it neat, great. If not, then it's going on the grinder. I have now completed my arms. These are the two arms that run down either side of the roof, and I've now finished welding them up. All sorted. My welding's getting better. Yeah, now what I'm doing, getting these up onto this rail here, and up onto this rail here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit the cross members up in the air, because the roof rack's going to be so big I physically won't be able to walk around this space if it's at like kind of waist height, if you see what I mean. So I'm going to get it up top, do all the welding up there, and then when it's time to fit it, the roller shutter's going to go up, and it's going to slide out and hopefully straight onto the van. Hopefully.
do you feel? You're in Brighton, your lights on. Today the same, you made me feel so. Insane today, you made me feel. Your lights on. Fall back just a little bit. Can you let me off?
Okay, that's all the crossbars done. In terms of the actual main crossbars in the middle, I've got the front and the rear crossbars to do next, which have got a slight mitre on them, and those are these pieces here that go from here across to the other side up there. I can't point. But yeah, as you can see from here, we've got our upstanding rail, and then we've got our crossbars running across to the other one. And yeah, it's all working out all right. So this is the final like front and rear bars that I'm doing now. I've already got the mitre on here, which is something like, well, the whole joint is a 22.5 degree joint, so it's half of that. So was it 11.75? I don't know, something like that anyway. I'm not that worried about it now, because what I do with this final bit is this is the piece we're putting in. So this literally then will just go onto there like that, line it up with the front edge, and then I'll just put a pencil mark in just like this, and then that gets taken to the chop saw. I'm just going to mark it up that this is right, and the other side there. We have a roof rack all tacked up and ready to go. Here it is. So up in the air, nicely out of the way of the floor space, which is brilliant. And it's all tacked up. Although now I have to do all the actual welding. And I counted, it's going to be 56 different pieces to do. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
Harder every time. Secret out so soon somehow, but I just don't care because it felt right. So where's that quiet time today? If my friends ever heard me say I wish I could run away with her, book ourselves in a cheap hotel. The idea is so hard to sell because it just felt right. Still I grow.
Here it is, the roof rack. It's out of the workshop and on the bench. Gonna give it a good grind now. Get rid of all of the dodgy looking welds. I know they're strong, they just didn't look very pretty. So yeah, like here for instance, you know, it's good enough. And that's what it's going to end up getting ground down to, or maybe a bit more than that, more like this. And then from there I'm going to run like a sand wheel on the grinder, and then sand all of it back, make it all look nice and smooth. And once that's done, it's on with the primer. The roof rack is ready for paint. Nearly. First of all, before I can put any paint on there, I just need to give it a bloody good clean. Obviously because it's aluminium, an oxide layer builds up on there, and that oxide layer can sometimes get a bit murky, grubby, and so just need to give it a final clean down. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run over it with some acetone and a cloth where the areas are a bit tough, scourer, and also, should I need it, some sandpaper, some fine grit sandpaper, and a wire brush. And once I've got all the crap off it, then it's time to get the paint out. Before I can do any painting, the first thing you got to do, mask up. This is a respirator. So yeah, the three paints that I'm going to be using today are the High Coat Etch Primer. Etch Primer is crucial for aluminium because of this oxide layer. Then I'll be using some matte black body shop paint, again from High Coat. And finally, the top coat is going to be matte lacquer, and this is quite a hard wearing matte finish, so it should look nice and matte black and actually have a lot of resistance against scratches. I'm going to put a lot of this on, not so much of the colour, but tons and tons of lacquer. So when I talk about the grubbiness, the murkiness, it's to do with this stuff here. If you can see that, it's a very sunny day here, so I'm not sure what's visible, but this blackening, there's obviously some engineering oils that are on here from when the aluminium was extruded or whatever it was that they did with it. Yeah, that now needs to get gone before we can put any paint on. Alright, so I have just started, or just in the process of, installing the cables for the CCTV. And as you can see here, I've got a little hole where the camera's going to go. I've already mounted the camera once, that's why you can see the full holes there. I've hoovered through some string. What I do is I put a hoover over the end of a conduit and then put some string, like literally string, down through the open end, and the hoover then sucks the string all the way through to the other side. Then simply, you just tape on the cable and pull it through. And so that's what I'm doing now. So I have, right up here, got a whole pile of strings coming through, and each one of them will have a cable attached to it, and I'm going to start pulling those all through. So as part of doing the roof rack, I need to put up my Wi-Fi aerial, and this is it. Come highly recommended on Amazon. It's got two leads that come off it that plug into my broadband router, my 4G router. But as for getting it mounted onto our roof rack with all these skinny slimline bars, it's a bit wider, as you can see. So I didn't want it to look odd, so what I've done is I've made a bracket. So this piece on the bottom here is just a bit of box section aluminium, which I've been using for the entire roof rack, and I've just cut and shaped it and polished it up, and now that is going to sit up here, and I'm probably just going to put that on with either some rivets or some tech fast screws. Yeah, that's it in its position. I'm going to get it painted up, but I think hopefully you'll agree. Looks pretty cool. It's just on the back corner of the roof rack, so it's not particularly going to get in the way of anything. Ugh. It didn't take very long to make. Just had to cut and shape, so just sort of maybe like 20 minutes. Yeah, happy with the result. Going to get it painted now. I'm about to set the roof rack out to paint the roof rack, so I'm going to paint this all at the same time. So that's part of the reason for doing it now.
She sees the joy.
that was fun and enjoyable. What do you think? Looks good, right?
Yeah, I like it. Hope you like it too. Yeah, apologies for not filming the bit where we put it onto the van. It was a bit of a shame. I just hadn't really got any choice. We shoot everything on our phones, so we don't have any sort of luxury kind of waterproof cameras or anything like that. So yeah, I just couldn't do it. I hope the pictures sort of paint a few words that you can see there of how it's kind of gone up, but it's just really easy, really straightforward. It just sat on those brackets that we built, and literally just a bolt down through to fix them into the riv nuts, and that was it.
Yeah. Plan performed well, executed well.
So that's the roof rack kind of done now, and we're leaving that for a while because there is another part to this, which is to fit all of the bits and pieces to it. Now we've got most of the cables in. You saw in the video there that we got the cables fed to wherever it needed to be. And all that's remaining now to do is to put on the cameras and solar panels and the light bar and the Wi-Fi antenna. But that we're going to come back to because there's a load of stuff in the van that I think we need to get onto first. And so then we can pick this back up later.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks for watching.
Indeed. And don't forget to do the old like and subscribe.
Subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Comment if you like. Give thumbs up for the skills.
But be kind in the comments. I'm a gentle soul. All right. Till next time.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.